Hi, Team Spurs. It will master my mouth. My mouth will soon get used to saying hi, Team Spurs, because I am used to saying hi, guys, hi, guys, hi, guys. Why was I looking for it? Because hi, guys seems like, but really, I just felt like guys is, becoming something you say to acquaintances, and this family is becoming more than acquaintances. We are becoming a community. Or what do you think? We are becoming a community, and we should find something that makes us feel more connected than just guys. So guys, we made like there was a community post on our community tab. And thank you guys for giving your opinion about the names that were also listed were names suggestions by team members. Thank you guys for lending your opinion. Thank you. Me putting out something to say, what do you guys think about this thing? And you actually, giving me your opinion means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And yeah, this is becoming a community. Like, thank you for making it a community. One person cannot be a community. It's becoming a community because you all are, here, and you are active friends of mine here. Thank you guys. So if you're returning Team Spur, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to watch. Thank you. That times I'll be like, okay, I don't know whether this video is okay, but you guys come through. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, and if you are seeing this face and this channel for the first time, this is Team Spurs. Yeah, and on this channel we are motivated people. I film content about faith. I live since Saskatchewan, Canada. On this channel we learn a lot of things, how to we've learned together how to take care of our kids. We've learned together how to relocate to Canada. We are learning together our license in Canada as an immigrant. We are learning together just on my last post I learned how to cater better for my hair. So it's just like this is a community of different kinds of information that will help you. So you don't want to miss any of this. You want to click on the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't let me do too much sweet talk, but the fact remains that you want to be a member of this community and you want to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the videos on this channel. So today guys, as much as I've tried to stay off this topic, when it started making the rounds, I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything about this. But I heard another story today, yesterday or today. I read another story yesterday or today, and I was like, this is becoming it's fast becoming like a demonic, I don't know what to call it. But I just wonder, just a few weeks ago we spoke about, like, there was a post I made about this thing called marriage, and different people gave different opinions. There were different comments, and I knew that those comments were out of people's experiences, out of other people, like the experiences of other people they knew about. And I know that marriage is something that wedding days, like, sometimes for some people wedding days, like the in fact some people, it's from the wedding day they start having issues. But this whole thing got me thinking. This whole thing of husbands killing wives killing husbands got me thinking of when relationships wants to start, it's always like very, very sweet. It's always like you cannot do without each other. It's always, you remember the time of extra cool. It's always like you have to talk for 24 hours. But I just wonder how things become sour. How love that was sweet in the dating and courtship time becomes so sad that somebody will now get, like, somebody that was so much in love, you decide to get married to this person. You now become like someone that hates the other person so much that you want to kill them, you want to hurt them, I can't imagine how somebody would decide to beat their wives and their husbands, because it's wives. We've heard stories of wives that beat their husbands, and it sounds, because even to beat your child is seen as something you shouldn't do. Beating your child is something they say don't do. So how do you go from don't beat your child to beating a grown up person? like I saw a video 2 days ago and I was like, okay, what is happening here? The man was beating the wife with a belt, and it was like, you know, the way students would, you know, do their hands like this and teachers to be beating. And I was like, okay, wife, you are not you are not the like, he's not, this woman is not your student in school. This person is not, it's just somehow. So when we just got to Canada, we had about two people that spoke with us, like myself and my husband, that spoke with us about how we should not allow the wave, like there's a wave of divorce in this land, how we should not allow that wave to affect us, because there were like a lot of things could cause divorce, and most times they say it's money. Like finances in Canada can cause divorce like at the snap of a finger, and it's because one spouse can feel like if you divorce this person, you can get more money if you are not you know, there are a lot of things, and that is an extreme. You know, in Nigeria, where I in Nigeria, my fatherland, the extreme is that before now, it's like anything you are passing through, however it is, especially if it's not physical abuse, they will say, is he beating you, is he carrying woman, is he drinking, he's not doing all those things, stay there and be praying. Not to now talk over if it's abuse, they will say God will change him, God hates divorce and all that. So that's an extreme of whatever you are going through, however it is, whatever you are passing through, just stay there and be praying and be, you know, we have glorified suffering. There are a lot of people that by the time they are sharing their life history of how their children is now the one taking care of them, they are now living good lives, that part of them suffering has to be there for the story to be sweet. So some people feel like if they have not, you know, gone through suffering, their story is not complete. That's one extreme. And the other extreme that I notice now, like even where we are now and even in Nigeria, is like any small thing any small thing is pressing toothpaste from the middle, divorce him. She made indomie and the indomie is too soft, divorce her. The makeup she did on the birthday of your mommy was too heavy, divorce her. You know, like any so that's another extreme of whatever, anything, divorce, anything, divorce. Another extreme is whatever, even if it's beating you and it's killing you, you should stay there. And one of the things that has come up in, you know, in all these discussions, there are two things that have come up so well, like so many times. And one of those things is the reason people stay. Because I remember there was one post I saw that somebody was asking, why would you want to stay in an abusive relationship, whether as a man or as a woman? And definitely this video is not about men abusing women. It's about the marriage institution itself. I think it's either that it is becoming watered down, or people are more exposed, and some of the things our mothers, our fathers were enduring, the generation we have now are saying no, we are not going to endure those things. And I think that's the case. It's not like all these things were not applicable or were not happening in times past, but it's like now people are saying no to those things. Two things have been mentioned so much when it comes to why people stay in abusive relationships, and one of those things is because of what people will say. For example, this person that recently died, that's the gospel musician. Some people were saying if she divorces, maybe she will not get people to invite her to minister again. If she divorces, people that were looking up to her, they would say that she has become wayward if she divorces and all that. And the other thing that people were saying, like, that has become rampant, that has been like the reason people don't want to live abusive relationships, is because of the children. And if we are going to look at these two reasons critically, okay, so I think there's one other thing, and the other thing is maybe lack of finances. You know, like feeling like if you don't stay with this person, you can't survive. So when if we decide to look at all these things, now that she didn't leave the marriage, because of what people will say, or maybe because of uh, our kids. When I was reading things that the kids were saying about how they've been living with the father and the mother's abuse, I know that those kids need to go through therapy or something. They need counseling. And if she said the kids were the reason she stayed, those kids are scarred. Scarred. I think scar is the word. Those kids are scarred. The girls will grow up believing that it's okay to be beaten by their husbands, and the boys will grow up believing that it's okay to beat their wives. And the fact that their father is even a pastor is not even helping matters. Like, man of God. If man of God is doing this, then that means it is very, very okay. So us staying in the marriage is not in any way helping the children. In fact, it is scar. Like, it is living like a very wrong perception of marriage in the children's life, and I'm sure that is there already. The children have to go through counseling. So that reason of is because of the children is flawed already. And if you say it's because of what people will say, now that she's dead, people are saying a lot of people that shouldn't even, there's one Yoruba adage that says that when one small suffering brings you to, when big suffering brings you to the ground, small will start climbing. Like, people that shouldn't even, talk, like people that shouldn't have a name in their mouth. Like, it's not like how will I say this? People that shouldn't have an opinion about our life are giving different opinions. Why would she stay there? Why would she not stay there? And really, it is people are also, because of this, bashing Christianity. And it's because of pastors. Pastors are the ones that are saying people should stay. And as much as there might be pastors that are saying divorce is bad, don't do it, stay there and be praying, I want to say that there are times you need to make a decision based on yourself. What is good for me? What is good for me? Even if you are married and you have 20 children, you are married and you are a pastor, you have congregation of 20,000 people. There comes that sometimes in your life that you have to make a decision based on what is good for you. Not what is good for your children, not what is good for your congregation, not what is good for your spouse, but what is good for you. What is good for you? Like, do you love yourself enough to make a decision that is good for you? And for people that are used to, taking care of other people, for people that are used to, seeking validation from other people, doing something based on what is good for you sometimes may be seen as, like, even you yourself, you feel guilty that you are being selfish. Like, there are times you feel like guilty for trying to do something that is, like, for trying to make a decision. What I'm just trying to drive at is, there are times you need to take decisions based on what is good for me. Like, not minding every other person. What will other people say? Is this, not even minding, is this good for my sibling? Is this good? Is this good for me? And at times, like, you need to be, and sometimes there might be a very thin line between, showing love to yourself, asking yourself what is good for you, and actually being selfish. Sometimes you have to cross that line of being selfish. Sometimes you have to choose yourself first. You love yourself enough to take the best decision for yourself, not minding what your pastor is saying, not minding what other people will say, not minding what your family members are saying. I know that there are some parents that their children will say that they are being abused in their marriage, whether a man or a woman, and it's possible they say, like, you man, a woman, you cannot control your wife, go and you can control her, stay there. Or you're a woman, you should be humble more, be gentle more, or things like that. And it's possible it is the family members that are keeping people in abusive relationships. But even in such times, people need to get to the point where, and as I'm talking about this, I know that no matter how much this is hammered, no matter how much content is being pushed out about choose yourself first. Think of what is good for you. Some people will still decide to stay in abusive relationships for reasons best known to them. You cannot force people to, but more people need to get, be made aware that you need to do things sometimes based on what is good for you. So there are some things there are sometimes you don't have to ask your pastor for what you need to do if you actually love yourself enough to make the best decision for yourself. What do I mean? So there was a post, I think Mommy Adejumo made about like a chat she got, and there was this person that listed a lot of things that husband was doing to her. He spit on her, he mocks her in public. I think it has not gotten to physical abuse, but it does a whole lot of things to her. Like there's nothing that she does that is like ever good. Like he like belittle her. Whatever success she whatever effort she tries to put into things to look like for success, it brings her down. And by the time she listed all those things, if she was actually somebody that felt like what is like thinks of what is good for her, that loves herself enough to make the decision of what is good for her, she wouldn't have had to come to somebody to ask that question. When I was thinking of making this video, I actually remember that when I got to Abeokuta, I went to school in Abeokuta. Like that was the first time I stepped in Abeokuta was actually to go and start my university education. And the place where I stayed, like the first house I stayed in Abeokuta, I remember that there was this lady that she got pregnant out of wedlock. She was still in secondary school or something, and when she gave birth to the baby, she of course she had friends before she got pregnant. So her friends were still calling her a name, like normal, the way my friends would call me Christy. Whether I'm married or I have children, it's still Christy. But she was angry that they should call her mommy, the name of her child. And I was like, really? Like it was a thing of pride for her. So the same way, some people have attached so much importance to being married, so much importance to being a missus, or the husband of a and I think it's also like it is something that we do unconsciously, but it is so much ingrained into our society. There is so much important. Marriage is important. Marriage is very, very important. But in the last few days, a lot of things has been said, and one of those things is the covenant of life is more important than the covenant of marriage. Marriage is important, but it is not like the beginning and end of your life. There are some people that are not married and they are living their lives. There are some people that are married and they are making waves. There are some people that were married and for some reason they lost their spouses. Their lives did not end. So marriage is like, when we have it, glory to God. But we shouldn't, say we must have it at all costs. Like we must, put caution to the wind, not care about our own well-being. Even living an abusive relationship, like, the explanation I gave earlier on, the state of the minds of the kids and all that, is also even a way of showing love to your kids. At the point where you are making that decision, they might feel like you're selfish, you don't care about them, because I know that divorce can actually play like a very, very, leave a very, very bad taste in the minds of children that might not understand why you are doing it. But at the long run, children grow up and they get to understand what happened, why it happened and all that. They will thank you for it. So I am not here to say because the the mantra on social media now is leave, leave, run, red flag, red flag, red flag. I'm just here to tell you to love yourself enough to make the right decision for yourself. Love yourself enough to do the right thing at the right time. It's I watched a movie on domestic abuse, and I hate sad movies. And if I knew that movie was going to end in a sad note, I wouldn't have finished. I used to tell my younger sister that life in itself is sad already. When I'm watching a movie, I want a movie that at the end I'll smile. Yeah, I like happily ever after movies. And the movie was all about domestic violence. You know, this lady kept, you know, her friends were always, you know, asking to help her. We're always, you know, wanting to help her. We're always trying to get her out of that situation. And she kept going back. She kept going back, and until she died. I will say it again. Love yourself enough to make the best decision for yourself at the right time. You know, the people that will say, why did she leave? I don't even want you to think about why is it your life? Are you the one that is being beaten? Are you the one that is, you know, having to go to the hospital for one black eye and one broken hand and one broken skull? I'm just trying to imagine how a man or a woman will feel like the best thing to do to their spouse is to beat them. It's sound like it is. And even when you beat a child and the child cries for help, like, you would feel pity for the child and stop beating the child. But these people will keep beating their spouses. They will be asking for help, saying they are sorry. They will keep beating the spouses until we get to a point where the spouses have to get to the hospital. Is that not that's a demon? That's devilish. That's wicked. And if you are like in a like a relationship where there is domestic violence, I pray that you receive the strength to do the right thing for yourself. I pray that you receive God's wisdom to take the right decisions. I pray that the love of God will fill your heart so much that you will know that that situation is not what you should be going through. Like, God loves you too much for you to be going through such a situation. He loves you too much. I pray that God's love fill your heart so much, and you see yourself. You see yourself the way God sees you. You see the extent of God's love for you, and it will help you to make the right decision for yourself and for the people around you. It will help you to make God will help you to make the right decisions. God will help you to make the right decisions. You will not be the next, we will not hear your story that you were domestically abused and you died. That will not be your portion. You will make the right decision for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Till we see in the next video. Have a beautiful life. God bless you. Bye.